Okay. All right. This one here is like,
Good evening, folks.
yeah, good morning, evening. Look at that cat up there with his big butt. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Evidently, Jimmy Kimmel got canceled. And for me, I kind of like that because I never cared for Jimmy Kimmel. He's a left wing nut job, okay? But let me explain. Now you have all these stars, and like Jay Leno was once said, free speech is dead after Jimmy Kimmel gets canceled. No, the true story there was one of ABC's largest networks, Next Something, said that they weren't going to run Jimmy Kimmel anymore because they didn't appreciate the comments he made after Charlie Kirk. All right, so they were going to preempt it. Now, if this network doesn't carry that show, then there's no money there. So Jimmy Kimmel, ABC, canceled Jimmy Kimmel. Now, listen to me really, really closely. Free speech is a God-given right. Everybody has free speech. And unfortunately, sometimes there's consequences to your freedom of speech. All right, when you say something that insults well over half the population, they're perfectly within their right to say, we're not going to watch you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. The NFL learned this with kneeling. I mean, and unfortunately, ask Charlie Kirk about free speech.
Let me tell you, freedom of speech is like freedom of will of your will. What is it? A freedom of will.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want with that freedom.
Yep.
But the fact is that you also will have to suffer the
freedom of choice. Yeah.
Freedom of choice. You have to suffer the consequences of your choices. Yeah, I am free to go down the street and I don't know, commit a crime. Yeah. But I'm also need to be ready to suffer the consequences that I'm gonna go to prison probably. Okay. The guy that shot Charlie Kirk had the freedom of freedom of will. What did you say?
Had freedom of will.
Freedom of will, and he used it to commit a crime.
Yeah.
Now he will pay the consequences of his behavior.
Yeah.
If I go on any television show that is got certain rules and regulations, and I say foul things, I have exercised my freedom of speech, but they have the right to say we won't air that. Okay, and that's exactly what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. You can tell yourself all you want that you live in a republic, a democracy. Now you live in a capitalist state.
Yes.
Okay, and if there ain't no money for them, they're
not going to air it. But listen, Charlie Kirk had freedom of speech. Now, where it got nasty is some sick individual and some other sick individuals think that if they don't like what you said, they're perfectly within their right to kill you. That's nasty. It's disgusting. So Jimmy Kimmel got off light. But I will tell all you people out there that are happy about this, by your logic, any conservative could kill you at any time. Mm-hmm. That makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
You can't go out and hurt people physically or shoot people because they disagree with you. This generation is so childish. When I was young, we were taught sticks and stones can break your bones, but names will never hurt you. Well, our education system has failed these children to the point where they believe someone disagreeing with them is an act of violence. That's how immature they are.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Kimmel, I'm glad you got canceled. I never liked you know how.
Let me tell you something. People on television exercise the freedom of speech all day, every day. They say on the news, they say some of the most terrible things, some of the foulest things. They lie. Okay, mm-hmm. You have watched TV shows. They have all this hidden agenda and things like that. They have every right to put it out there if someone will pay them for it. We have the right at our family to not watch it.
Correct.
Okay, we have a freedom of choice, and so we decide we're not going to watch it. We turn it off, and we don't watch television. We watch So it's up to you what you're gonna do with that freedom. But look, uh, this is okay. And let me say this: they're losing their mind over one person paying for the consequences of the freedom of speech. How many times have they lied on the news, on the television shows, left and right, and nothing ever happened to anybody? One person gets their choice
Yeah.
canceled, and oh yeah, there's no freedom of speech. Yes,
And
there is. You just don't like the consequences.
here's a game for everybody to play if you think that the right is violent, because it's not. All the violence always comes from the left. Except for maybe January 6th. That was a crazy thing. But you look at these riots, Black Lives Matters, Antifa. Well, now what do they got? Tranny T. You look at all these people. You look at the violence committed, burning down businesses, tearing up streets, sitting in the middle of the intersection. Yes, that's violent because you're interfering with people's lives. And then ask yourself, how do you think these people vote? And they're going to, it's obvious. They're Democrats.
Yeah.
They're from the left.
Yeah.
But anyway,
look.
Freedom of speech is wonderful, but freedom of speech has consequences sometimes.
And let me tell you, they're screaming about freedom of speech for Jimmy Kimmel. They've had.
What about Charlie Kirk? You're not screaming about it for him.
And I mean, they have had the microphone for a long time now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now someone, you had all the flags, all the rainbow things, all the agenda things that they were doing, and they were exercising their freedom of speech. Okay. But people are exercising the freedom to not watch that, not pay attention to that, not celebrate that. But that does not automatically mean that we go to violence. Okay?
Just because someone disagrees with you doesn't make them a bad person. And look, I got to tell you right now, if there's a nurse out there celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk because he was a conservative and he said things that hurt her feelings, my God, what does she do when she has a patient on the table that she knows is conservative? Is she killing them? Is she giving them the best medical care? There's a huge question there. So yeah, that nurse should lose her job.
I think really we have a big problem on how the kids that are reacting this way. Who raised these children?
Yeah.
Okay? You need to take
Russian proverb there.
Yeah, really, who raised you? Because you have to take what would you say, responsibility for as a parent. Mm-hmm. You this child, whatever behavior he's doing, you did this.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's all I got, folks.
Let me just say this. Don't worry about Jimmy Kimmel. He's a millionaire.
He's a gazillionaire.
He's laughing all the way to the bank. Okay? He can, if he's smart, probably sue ABC or whatever network it is for breach of contract. You don't worry about him. He's got plenty of money. Okay?
And here's the thing.
Why are you worried about him?
Jimmy Kimmel only said what he thought was popular.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
But anyway, all right, guys.
He made a mistake.
God
bless.
The worm's turning. They just don't see it. God bless everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. And end this right there. Okay.